Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Most Americans would be surprised and disgusted to learn that Iran has been given approximately $50 billion in sanctions relief package by the Biden administration. More to the point, it was done in exchange for a promise from Iran that they wouldn't produce weapons-grade uranium. That's it. That's all we apparently got. More to the point, think about the implications of this deal. The Ayatollah who embraces and chants death to America and death to Israel can produce even more deadly long-range missiles, but that's fine by Joe Biden. How about highly enriched uranium? Somewhere in Foggy Bottom, Anthony Blinken is nodding his head, sure, why not? The Ayatollah can put his country on the cusp of the nuclear threshold and hold it over as a constant threat. He can continue to pocket billions of dollars made available by the so-called adults in charge at our State Department, taxpayer dollars. Mr. Chairman, I reserve.
The gentleman from Tennessee reserves. The gentleman from New York is recognized.
Yes.
For what purpose does the gentleman from New York seek recognition?
Mr. Chairman, I rise to claim time in opposition to this amendment.
The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, this amendment is counterproductive. The House has voted in a bipartisan manner to support general licenses to Iran to allow open internet access to the protesters against the regime of Iran. That could violate this vaguely drafted amendment. In the recent past, the United States has spent very small sums of money to promote civil society and democratic ideals in Iran, and that could violate this amendment. This amendment, I believe, with all due respect, is carelessly drafted and unvetted, and therefore I must oppose it, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman from New York reserves. The gentleman from Tennessee is recognized.
Civil. October 7th. Iran sponsored the murder, rape, and torture of innocent civilians. Civil. I do not trust Iran with nuclear material. Civil. They raped little girls. Civil. I should think not. This is a no-brainer, Mr. Chairman. This administration, whether due to side deals, incompetence, or just selling America out, is bringing the world's most grievous, grotesque sponsor of state terrorism closer to nuclear capabilities. Mr. Chairman, I'm from the South. You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. Iran should be punished for what happened in Israel. Hamas should be driven into the sea. And respectfully to my colleague, we should take extraordinary measures to send a message to the world that this will never happen again. Iran must pay, and pay dearly. This is but a first step. I reserve.
The gentleman from Tennessee reserves. The gentleman from New York is recognized. Gentleman from New York.
I yield.
The gentleman from New York yields. The gentleman from Tennessee is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, the world is in a precarious place. We see the CCP making moves in the Pacific against Taiwan. Russia has made a move against Ukraine. and Iranian-backed terrorists killed innocent civilians. There should be no relief for Iran. There should be no sanctions relief for Iran, for they are not civil. They do not belong at the seat, at the table with the rest of the world. They need to be driven into the Stone Ages where they belong and how they behave. Mr. Chairman, I urge adoption of my amendment, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields. The question is on the amendment.